I grew up in a small town my entire life, and my family was based around God. Every Sunday we went to church, every Wednesday we went to youth group, and I was even in a club called Awanas, went to that every Thursday night. My life was based around God, and I grew up my entire childhood knowing God and knowing what He was capable of. And when I got into middle school, my life started to get a little more influenced with friends and my peers. I started to fall into the different crowd where I didn't want to go to church. I felt like being a godly man was kind of not the thing to be. Like, I'd be looked at a little differently. So I started not going to church. I told my mom I didn't want to go to church. I avoided it. I'd sleep in the mornings so that I didn't have to go. And I tried my best to avoid it. And middle school progressed, and late into middle school and into early high school, I started getting into a bad group of friends. It started with hanging out with the wrong people and doing a few dumb things here and there. Then it progressed into chewing, and then it progressed further into drinking and going to parties. And by the end of my high school years, I was really into the partying. Every Saturday night, every Friday night, we'd go to parties, and I'd be going to parties where there was drinking and chewing and smoking and sex and just a bad situation to find yourself in. And it seemed like it was the cool thing to do, that everybody wanted you to do it, and that was the thing to do, was to go get drunk, to look at girls in a wrong way, and just to have a sort of fun that everybody associated with fun that wasn't really truly fun. It was a dirty kind of thing to do. It was nothing what God would want a person to do. I started to get home, and once I really figured out who God was, I started to go home, and I think to myself, why am I doing this? Why do I need this? And I just kind of felt like I was dirty for doing it. Like something was wrong in my life. And I met a girl that brought me closer to the Lord. I started going to her church, and that's when things changed. I started hanging around a different crowd. I turned away all those bad influences, and my life has changed because God was brought back into my life. I resaw the things He could do for me, and it felt great. It felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I wasn't partying anymore. I wasn't chewing. I wasn't doing all them bad things that I was caught up in for so long, and it felt really good. It made me feel happy, like I was a new person. And as my life progressed into being a better godly man, I ended up getting baptized and started trying to further the kingdom of God, and that's where I'm at now. And I feel so much cleaner now that I've found the Lord again. And I feel like so many people grow up their entire life knowing God, knowing what He's capable of. And I went to a church camp once that said this, and it really hit home with me. They said, do you know God, or do you have a relationship with God? And I feel like that's where a lot of people sit, is they know God, they've known God their whole life, but they don't have a relationship with Him. And that's where my life changed. I've known God my whole life, and it took a special moment for me to finally have a relationship with the Lord. Once I started coming to church with that girl I'd met, I'd sit through those sermons every Sunday, and before long I started realizing that I was paying a lot more attention than I used to, and that things were starting to hit really hard with me. He was preaching pretty much everything I needed to hear. I felt like God was talking to me, and in that moment, as I was hearing those words on those Sundays, my life started to warp in front of me. I started to realize that I needed to change. Something in my life needed to change, and it did. I realized that what I was doing in my life was not good for the Lord, and it wasn't what the Lord wanted. And in that moment, my life changed, and I became a new person. I knew that He could forgive me for all the things I had done, but in another aspect, I know that I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna fall down again. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna sin, but now that I'm a better new man, I'm going to be able to pick myself up, ask for forgiveness, and do my best not to ever do that again, and try to live my life better for the Lord. And I know there's people out there right now going through the same situations I did, and it may seem good right now. It may seem like life's just a bundle of joy, going to parties and having sex out of marriage and doing drugs and all that. But there's hope. There's hope in the Lord. You'll find a moment in your life where you'll realize something needs to change, that what you're doing is wrong, that it's not appealing to the Lord, and that you're not doing what you're supposed to be. And in that moment, you'll realize that the Lord forgives and that there is hope in the Lord. Your life will become new, and there will become joy with that. It won't be the fun you're used to, but it's a different kind of fun. That weight's lifted off your shoulders, and you become a new you, a healthy, clean you. My name is Brendan, and I am new.